So Liverpool take on Everton at Anfield. It's the Merseyside derby, and the question is who starts as a striker. That's the big question. To me that's the big question. Who starts? Is it Isak? Is it Hugo Ekitike? Isak is back. Played what 55 to 60 minutes in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, which I thought he played very well, and I thought the personnel around him played well with him in the first game, which is absolutely crazy. And then, but he ain't fit. But you also have Hugo Ekitike, who's been playing well, who's shown quality. Unfortunately, getting an empty goal in Champions League and missing, I won't forget that. But he has shown that he can play the physicality and the intensity of the Premier League. And Arne Slot has an issue or a problem, a nice problem to have as a manager, because you do want to have that, to have not the main striker and then the quality to drop off isn't that far off, or it adds a little bit of variety or range to how you want to play. But who starts? And I believe that it will be Ekitike who starts. And I'm gonna put it to you this way because I want to talk about this probably closer to the end of the video, as to I believe maybe both start, but we'll talk about that. But I do believe that Ekitike will start in this game. I think watching the Barcelona game, or watching the Atletico Madrid game and the Burnley game, it speaks to how the team has the personal resources, the technical ability to break down low blocks. That comes with one good passing, good energy. It also comes with runners. You need runners beyond the wingers. So you need your Fringpongs, you need Robertson or Kirkes, whoever starts, and you also need your tens or your eights to ensure that you are getting the defense to move back or to create channels or creating spaces. And Ekitike can do that. He did that well enough against Burnley. Isak wasn't on the bench, so we don't know how that game would have gone. But playing against Atletico Madrid, who is anti-football, shockingly in that game that they were not, but you saw how we were able to move the defense and move their block around as best as possible. A lot of rotations, a lot of interchanging of positions. How when Verts comes into the half space and then he moves centrally, or is a case of it's Gakpo who keeps constantly cutting in on his right to cut into pass, or it is a case that you need triangles towards the touchline, who you need like a Frimpong and Salah and Sabozlai, or maybe Gravenberch, to kind of form triangles outside to ensure that you have runners, just to short passes to unlock those kinds of stubborn defenses. And Everton is no different. Everton is a very good team defensively, and they can hit you on the transition. They still do have that kind of quality in Jack Grealish, in Shrewsbury Hall, that is able to hit decisive ball behind the defense and cause problem. They do have Barry, that they got from France, who is a very good player, promising player, or they can use physicality and use Beto and go the long ball route, and it's all about physical head ball and that kind of game, or hit and set pieces, when they have Tarkovsky, Beto, and a few who are able to do that. So it's not just a game of just, yes, it's football, but it's also derby. So of course emotions are involved. And last time that we played Everton, when they were at Goodison Park, Curtis got a red card, and Arne Slot got a touchline or a few games banned. So emotionally charged game. We know how that goes. But I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I do expect, though, hopefully Curtis is back. So I think that Sabozai will start. I do know. I think Robertson may start as well, because we do just need to have that kind of disciplined player to not go into a high emotional game like Everton, to ensure that everything is stable around the back with Van Dijk, with Konate and Allison. So I think that Frimpong does start. I think the back line that we had against Atletico Madrid will start for Everton. And I think the midfield will be Dominic Soboslai and Gravenberch, and of course Vert and Salah starts. But I also think, because I get into this now, because I spoke about it, Ekitike and Alexander Isak starting. It is a possibility, and bear with me, it is a possibility that Isak and Ekitike may start in this game, and you have Gakpo coming off the bench. Why? Because I think how Verts and Isak had played in the Champions League, it's almost as if they were telepathically speaking to each other on the field as to where to go, when to move, how to move. Yes, you can do that in training, but in match situations, it's literally split seconds, and they were making the correct decisions, the right runs more often than not. And I think how Isak plays is that, yes, he can drop in and link up play, but the difference between him and Ekitike is that Ekitike lingers more on the left side in the half space, where Florian Wirtz thrives mostly, where he can do body feints, where he can either play back or reverse pass to the overlapper. But Wirtz with Isak links the play, moves from left, goes back centrally, and there's another runner with him that Wirtz can either play the ball into the channel, into the space, or he can take it upon himself and go 1v1 against his man. So, as against with Ekitike, who wants to stay in that left half space, which is not a bad thing, but it kind of overcrowds that space and it doesn't allows the defense to move back or open up a space or a gap. If you get what I'm saying. So I think that is a possibility. And if Ekitike starts, and in the Atletico Madrid game aside, that they could go 4-3-3, it could be a possibility that Florian Wirtz could play on the left. I'm not saying that that's his best position, but how Ekitike plays is that he wants to link up, drop deep, and then kind of facilitate passes to the runners behind. So McAllister might start. That is also a possibility. McAllister might start and take out Gakpo. So persons with Gakpo, I've seen a lot of comments regarding Cody Gakpo, and persons are saying that last season his numbers were inflated. I'm talking Liverpool fans, really. But to be honest with you, I think how Gakpo has started the season, maybe not to the best, but I think what is happening is that persons understand and know that he's going to go on his left. And I think Gakpo may need to look into probably adding more in terms of going out on the left than to cut in on his right, to add a little bit more variety to his game, to kind of make the opposition question or have double-minded thinking in terms of, does he go right, does he go left, what is it? As against with Rio Ngomoa, who just wants to dribble at his man 1v1 and create space and create chances so that the defense may collapse on his side, so that Robertson might overlap and run in behind, or somebody underlaps. It needs to, I think that is also a slight concern, because persons or oppositions know how to play Gakpo. But that's just me as a fan. I'm probably looking in. You guys can let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, guys. Until next time, peace.